I'm here with Daniel Bryan, WWE superstar. This Sunday at SummerSlam, you're in the main event with John Cena. You were sleeping in a car just off of Wilshire Boulevard a few years back. Talk about the journey you've been on these last few years to get to this main event level.
Yeah, do you know what? It's crazy because it's a long journey, but it's also been a fun journey. So like all the stuff that was really hard, that seems really hard, like sleeping in your car or sleeping on dojo mats and not having any money and all that kind of stuff, I wasn't unhappy. It's been a fun process, and it's continuing to be a fun process. And so I'm just really excited. Like most people get nervous in this kind of situation. I've been wrestling for 14 years and feel absolutely 100% prepared and just excited.
You did some MMA training at Randy Couture's gym in Las Vegas. How did the MMA training help you in the ring?
It just makes my style different from everybody else's style. And my finishing hold is, they call it the yes lock now, I've always called it the LaBelle lock. It was taught to me by my grappling coach, Neil Melanson, who's just one of the best grappling coaches in the world. And so being able to train kickboxing and grappling and stuff like that has made my wrestling so much different than what everybody else does.
You challenged Josh Reddick of the Oakland A's to a beard off earlier this year. And it seems as if he's trimmed his beard and he's not into this challenge. What do you want to say to Josh Reddick of the Oakland A's?
Yeah, Josh Reddick is a coward. He's not a real man. A real man's man would have grown out his beard for the entire year, see the challenge through, and the man with the better beard wins. But no, he gives up halfway through. And you know what? I understand. I don't know. I think Josh Reddick might be single or something like that. Maybe he has to please the ladies a little bit more. Bree loves my beard, so I have no problems with that. But either way, I would have beat him. My beard is way better than his will ever be.
It's epic.
Yeah, epic.
When you think of legendary beards, which beards come to mind?
I mean, ZZ Top is obviously the foremost on most people's mind, but as far as wrestling beards go, when you look at guys like the Berserker, there was a guy named Mike Knox who had just this incredibly thick, long beard. I mean, there have been some tremendous beards over the years in wrestling.
What do you get impressed about when you see John Cena, what he's done in the WWE? He's one of the top guys of all time. Maybe not the most technical guy in the ring, but he gets results.
Yeah, the thing that will most impress you about John Cena, and this is everybody in the company, is how hard he works. And, for example, Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, The Rock, none of those people have worked as hard as John Cena has for as long as John Cena has. And he's had to be the face of the company for years now, doing 200-plus shows a year for years now. All the wear and tear on your body, the fact that he broke his neck and wrestled 24 hours later, the fact that he's done 400 Make-A-Wishes. I mean, here's a guy who gives his entire life to the WWE, and you have to respect that.
Daniel Bryan, what are some of the toughest injuries you've suffered in the ring?
The worst one was I detached my retina in 2007, 5 minutes into a match, and just had to keep wrestling through it. You know, I had torn a couple tendons in my shoulder, separated it, and that sort of thing. But for the most part, I've been very lucky. Like, never had to have like an invasive surgery. There was the laser thing on my eye. But other than that, I haven't had to have anything like that. So I try to keep myself pretty healthy. And lucky for me, I'm not as big as those other guys. So that has good things and bad things. But one thing it does do is it keeps me from having to have those major knee operations and all that kind of stuff.
What is the most difficult thing about keeping such a full, thick beard?
It's actually after a really hard match and you're really, really sweaty, and all you want to do is drive 200 miles to the next town, but you have to take that 10 to 15 minutes to wash and condition and like all that kind of stuff. All those things that you never thought you'd like. I grew this beard so I wouldn't have to take care of it. I wouldn't have to shave my face. And now look at me. I'm every 4 or 5 times a week I'm having to wash and condition it. It just takes too much time.
Do you get along with John Cena when you're hanging out with your girlfriend and his girlfriend, who happens to be sisters of your girlfriend?
Sometimes, but we also have very different opinions on a lot of things in life, which are, it's interesting because the closer you get to somebody, the more that you know how different you are. And we're very different people.
Who were the guys that impressed you when you were growing up, when you would watch wrestling? You've been a fan since you were a kid.
Yeah, so when I was really young, I loved The Ultimate Warrior. And but then I grew up and loved guys like Bret Hart, loved guys like Shawn Michaels, loved Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. I liked the very technical wrestlers.
Daniel, continued success, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.